Guys, welcome to my channel, The Art of Chelsea. Today I'm going to be doing a cheap art supply challenge with this Artist Loft watercolor set. I got it at Michael's for only $6 and I've already used it a little bit. I've wanted it for a while just because the colors are so pretty and so bright. It comes with a brush, but right in here, but I threw it away because it was terrible, and I recommend that you do the same and just pick up any brush. Even an Artist Loft brand is fine. The little packs aren't too bad, but just something better that's kind of smooth looking and has nice bristles will get you off to a great start. Something I really like about this, especially for the price, is that it has all of these, so as long as you don't mind how messy it looks when it's closed, you can kind of use this as your palette. I went ahead and already did some swatches of color so that you can kind of see. It is actually surprisingly true to the color that you think it's going to be when you first lay it down. It does dry a little chalky, but not as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. Pretty easy to activate. Just add water and swirl it around. And if it comes out kind of dry, just add more water until you kind of get what you're going for. If you know, the more you water it down, the thinner it's gonna get, just like any watercolor. What I did notice with this is that the thinner you go, the more patchy it starts looking. Like, it is gorgeous for solid coverage, which I guess is kind of unusual. Not what you're going for when you do watercolor. But as you start getting lighter, it does get a little bit patchy. The blending is pretty good for what it is. You can really make some really pretty combinations and colors with these. I would definitely recommend for someone who's starting out in watercolor, doesn't know if they'll even like the medium. It's a really good starter set. You know, I have been painting in watercolor for a while on and off, and I really just like it for the color. Behaves a lot like some of your more expensive palettes. It just is cheaper. So I've actually used this palette already. The first time I used it was for this mermaid piece, and it came out gorgeous. I was beyond happy with it. I just did my painting and then micron pens and gel pens, and it was able to do everything that I wanted it to do. So for today, I'm going to do a time-lapse video for Jigglypuff here, Sailor Jigglypuff, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So enjoy. Okay, so for today's piece, I started off with a pencil sketch. I already knew what I wanted to do, which was a crossover for Sailor Moon and Jigglypuff. I recently made a second Instagram account just to post non-art stuff, and so I wanted to start off by making some artistic for that channel. I don't know why. I don't have erasable colored pencils, so I just used graphite and then went over it with colored pencil. That way the graphite didn't really muddy up the watercolor, and I was able to get a softer outline. Part of the reason that I did all of this. I didn't want to buy anything for this just because it's a part of the cheap art supply challenge. So I feel like I should be able to use stuff that everybody already has. You know, pencil, eraser. Even if you wanted to ink, you could just do a ballpoint pen. The white gel pen is probably the only thing that maybe everyone doesn't have, but you can get a good one for less than $2, so that's a pretty good investment. Something I don't see a lot of people talk about when they do cheap art supply challenges is light fastness and the whys of quality. It's something that's talked a lot about in fine art videos, but not in these like cheaper ones, craftier ones. Cheaper art supplies can be great when learning a new medium or doing fun projects. However, because these supplies are made with cheaper source materials, they're often not as pigmented or they don't have any lasting durability, especially when exposed to light. It's not something really to worry about. Even some high-end companies don't have great light fast rating, but I just wanted to mention it because you want to be careful with how you present your work. How you sell it, if your customers are going to know, and that it might not be forever. And it's always good to photograph or scan it. That way you can sell prints of it later. As I'm doing this, I'm just remembering how much I really love these colors. They're just so bright and pigmented and so beautiful. Before I got this, I had a much more expensive watercolor palette, probably $60, but it only came with 6 colors, which it's more the traditional watercolor palette, so it's a bit more difficult to work with, and I really just like a lot of color. I did notice when doing this that they dried really quickly, which was kind of nice, kind of tricky at times when I wanted to do more blending. So they didn't reactivate all that well once already on the paper. The texture, like I mentioned before, it's a little chalky, but it worked out pretty good. So it's been a while since my last video, and I decided that I'm gonna set a new goal of doing one video every 2 weeks, just until I get more in the habit and maybe the quality of my videos will improve a little bit as I start learning how to do things and become less nervous recording myself and my voice, and maybe learn how to edit my mistakes a little bit better so that you don't have all of the camera shake and my arm reaching across when I knock my phone off my selfie stick, because that's how I record. I am high tech. But I'd really love to get some interaction, and if you guys have any requests, want me to review something or do another speed paint, just let me know. If you like this video and you want to see more, subscribe, like, comment, and yeah, that's it. Thank you guys.